So here's the thing: when you look at top companies, they continually, when you look at the Apples and the Nikes of the world and the big established brands, they actually spend more than advertising than their competitors.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I wanna be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for tuning in for another episode of Ask Spurrell CPA. Today we're talking about key performance indicators and specifically the key performance indicator online ad spend. I have Tyson here with me again.
Hello.
So Tyson, are you noticing how's the CRA system treating us this year? Hasn't went down yet.
No, there's 1 week at the end of February or March there that was a little rough, but
Yeah.
past that, it's been nice.
It's been working. Okay, that's good. We'll keep our fingers crossed. It's not going to crash in the last week this year. So the quote that we have here today is Jim Collins' quote, author of 6 business books. And he says, the good to great companies did not focus principally on what to do to become great. They focused equally on what not to do and what to stop doing entirely. The statistic here that we're trying to address is 50% of all Canadian small businesses go out of business, and 42% of these failed companies will cite that their inability to attract enough customers was one of the reasons for their failure, making it the top reason that business owners cite for failing at their business. And the story that we have here is, we have a business owner and they've identified a revenue problem in their financial statement analysis, and they've moved beyond the fact that they can't get their phones for free and their staff for free. They have a revenue problem. They know it. They know they have to track and achieve measurable key performance indicators in order to solve this problem. They've accepted the fact that number one is they're going to get 40 Google reviews and they're going to get 1 Google review per month thereafter. They know that they're going to do 12 content videos, transcribe and put them on their website, and they're going to continue to do 1 video per week thereafter. They have the website up and running, they have the transcription, they have the content, it's starting to rank, and now they want to jump straight to advertising to drive sales. So what are the questions these business owners should be asking, Tyson?
What do most companies spend on advertising?
So statistically, this can vary from industry by industry wildly, but what we see in a lot of small businesses, that tends to approximate to around the 2% number. Most businesses are spending around that 2% number, and a lot of small businesses, I would argue that the 2% that's being spent is probably being spent on things that don't matter a lot. The hockey tickets that the business owner used themselves or just gave to their staff. They sponsored a soccer team for their kids, which made them feel good, but it probably didn't make the phone ring off the hook. But it tends to approximate on around that 2% number. Again, it can fluctuate by industry to industry, but 2% is the best number I could throw at you for an approximation.
Okay, and what do top companies spend on advertising?
So here's the thing: when you look at top companies, they continually, when you look at the Apples and the Nikes of the world and the big established brands, they actually spend more than advertising than their competitors. So on average, they have these average companies who are spending 2%, and top companies who are continually spending 5% and more on advertising, and they continue to do so year after year after year. So business owners that say that they don't have to advertise, was like, well, yeah, I guess you don't have to advertise to be okay, but to be great, you probably have to spend on advertising and probably spend more than your competitors.
Okay, yeah. Should most businesses spend more of their advertising dollars on online ads?
I think so. The metrics that you can see on it, how many people you can reach online versus how much that costs to do something like drop flyers. It's not that dropping flyers would be bad, since sometimes we'll recommend it in some marketing plans, but for the most part, online advertising is going to be at the top of the list of the things that we should do in terms of how cost effective and how impactful it is to reach people. So they should definitely be considering some online spend in their business in 2019 if they want to continue to grow their business.
Mm-hmm. What is the platform that most people use when they're ready to buy?
Yeah, so the platform that most people use is Google, and it can be a little bit intimidating because a lot of people, Facebook makes their advertising platform really easy to use. It might be even a little more friendly, but you got to remember when the basement is flooded, people don't go on Facebook generally and search plumbers on Facebook. They go straight to Google and they call when the basement is flooded. When they got a toothache and their tooth is falling out and they need a dentist right now, when they need glasses because they're going on a trip right now, they go onto Google and they search optometrist right now. They want it right now. When they're in that buying window, Google is going to be the most likely place that they're going to go first.
What is the advertising product that Google sells?
So Google sells the product, it's called AdWords, and that's the product that they sell. So basically when you do a Google search, those AdWords generally are at the top of the search results. So you see them before you even see the map results and before you see the organic listing. And that, it's Google Ads or Google AdWords, just depending on whose terminology that you're using. But that's effectively what they're selling, is just those ads at the top of the Google search results.
Okay. And how often do most people have to see an ad before they take action?
So most people, if they're not the person with the flooded basement who's going to hire a plumber right now, a lot of people will consider using your business or purchasing from your business. And the average is they have to see your ad 4.3 times before they're actually going to take any action on that ad. So it's not something that happens right away. They're actually going to have to see that ad over and over, on average 4.3 times before they're actually going to take any action on it.
Okay. And why does that number make it important to not stop and start your ads?
Because a lot of businesses think that, they can start it. I need business, so I'm going to spend some money on ads. And then they don't need business the next week, so they stop those ads. But the thing is, they haven't gotten that one person all the way through the buying window. So they need to see that ad 4.3 times. So they're actually spending more money on marketing by not keeping those ads on. Because if you stop, you're going to have to start all over again to get to 4.3. So they need to see it 4 or 5 times on a regular basis. So if you start it and they get to 2 and then you stop, well, you got to start with that same potential customer back at 1 all over again next time. That's actually going to cost a lot more money than actually just having a consistent advertising that works and generates leads.
All right. To help with that, is there advertising products to retarget visitors to your site?
100%. So you can use the Google AdWords to see that search, that first search result. But there's other ways to retarget. Specifically, AdRoll is a great company. You can buy retargeting ads from AdRoll. So that person who saw your Google AdWords, they clicked on your site, but they didn't take action at that time. You can put the AdRoll pixel on your site, so that person is going to continue to see your retargeting ads time and time again to get them to the 4.3 times where they're actually comfortable enough to call you.
Okay. If you're using a YouTube content strategy, are YouTube ads good value?
Yes, YouTube ads are fantastic value because there's not nearly as much competition usually for local businesses on YouTube ads. There's a lot of competition for Google AdWords. People have figured it out. It's expensive. A lot of businesses, they're going to pay, $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15 to get someone to click. Whereas those YouTube ads are significantly cheaper, and they can be used to, they can be used to find those ideal and likely buyers. So the way they work is, someone is searching for a new dentist, for example. They're searching for a new dentist, and then later that day they didn't take action because remember they got to get to 4.3 times before they're going to take action. So they searched a bunch of your competitors, and you didn't win on the Google AdWords. You weren't there yet. But then later that day they're watching a video review on buying a new Tesla, or they're watching a how to barbecue video. And then they'll get a YouTube pre-roll ad that'll show, you as so-and-so dentist and why it's good to come to your clinic, and it'll show for, up to 30 seconds before they watch the video that they are intended to watch. And it's, a really cost-effective way. So there are people who are actually interested because they were searching out your service, but they likely haven't taken action yet. And you can, capture that person on YouTube for usually pennies on the dollar these days compared to Google AdWords, which is the prime real estate.
Mm-hmm. Is there a minimum weekly ad spend required to get enough traction in data?
I would suggest that minimum weekly ad spend is about $250. You just need enough data, or else if you don't have enough data points, all of your analytics are kind of out there. It can look like it was a complete success or a complete disaster, but you just don't have enough data. So I would suggest for most small businesses, they're spending $1,000 a month on advertising. That would be the combination of AdWords, Google AdWords, and AdRoll, and YouTube ads. At about $1,000 a month, you're probably getting enough data points to actually know if what you're doing is effective or not. Below that, you could just get skewed numbers for sure.
Okay. Would you recommend that service companies start with Facebook ads instead?
I don't recommend that you would start with Facebook. And like I said before, like Facebook can be, it's a nice, easy to use user interface, but people aren't necessarily in the buying window when they're looking at Facebook. When you need something, just think about your own behavior. Most people, when you need something, you go and Google it first. You don't use Facebook as a search engine, so to speak. So although Facebook ads are useful. I mean, we use Facebook ads, but we use them for very particular things. We use them for to promote our event rather than promote our accounting firm, because Facebook ads tend to be more social. If you're selling a cool niche product, they work great. Or if you're promoting some sort of event, people are going onto Facebook to be social. You get an event in front of them. They're kind of in that mind space already. But when they need something, and they need it now, they're going to Google most times to find it. So I would say for most service companies, if you're a contractor, if you're an electrician, if you're a plumber, if you're a dentist or chiropractor or veterinarian, Facebook is not where you start. It might be something that you use to supplement, but I think you need to start with a Google-based advertising campaign, and then potentially you could use Facebook as kind of an add-on after the fact, as not as your primary. So that's what we have here today. Thanks so much for joining us. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you tips on how to beat the odds of business. And please leave your comments below so we can deliver you relevant content in our future videos. Thanks very much.